Hello everyone, my name is Suman Dua and I'm a registered migration agent at Nationwide Migration and Education. We make new videos every week in regards to Australian migration, and if you are interested in this topic, you may wish to subscribe to our channel. In this video today, we will be talking about the New South Wales nomination criteria for visa subclasses 190 and 491. New South Wales has been allocated 7,160 places for visa subclass 190 and 4,870 places for the visa subclass 491 in this financial year. With the recent positive announcements regarding increasing the migration quota, New South Wales is likely to get more seats for this financial year. To be eligible for a nomination from New South Wales, you will first need to meet the criteria set by the Department of Home Affairs. Home Affairs criteria requires you to have a points test result of 65 or higher, inclusive of state nomination points, have a positive skills assessment in your nominated occupation, be under 45 years of age, meet the minimum English language requirement of competent unless a higher level is required by your assessing authority. To meet the requirements for a 190 nomination, you need to be skilled in an occupation that is within an ANSCO unit group identified on the New South Wales Skilled Nominated Skills list and is eligible for the Skilled Nominated Visa Subclass 190. You must be either currently residing in New South Wales or offshore and have continuously done so for a minimum period of 6 months. New South Wales has introduced new minimum point scores and years of skilled work experience requirements in the 2022-23 financial year. To be eligible for New South Wales nomination, you must meet the minimum point score and minimum years of work experience in your occupation's ANSCO unit group. These are identified on the New South Wales Skilled Nominated Skills list next to the name of your unit group. For example, if you're skilled as a finance manager, occupation code 132211, you must have a minimum point score of 110 and 3 years of eligible skilled work experience to be considered in an invitation round. To be eligible for a 491 nomination, you need to be skilled in an occupation that is within an ANSCO unit group identified on the New South Wales Skilled Work Regional Skills list and is eligible for the Skilled Work Visa Subclass 491. You must be either currently residing in New South Wales or offshore and have continuously done so for a minimum period of 3 months. You must meet the minimum skilled work experience and point score for your unit group. These are identified on the New South Wales Skilled Nominated Skills list next to the name of your unit group. There are 2 pathways to New South Wales nomination for the Skilled Work Regional Visa Subclass 491. There is Pathway 1, in which you can apply directly to the RDA office in the region you wish to live and work in for the first 3 years after being granted your visa by Home Affairs. You are exempt from the minimum work experience requirement under Pathway 1 if you have completed study in regional New South Wales within the most recent 24 months before applying to an RDA office, and your study is related to your nominated or closely related occupation, and your study in regional New South Wales makes you eligible to claim points for study in regional Australia. However, the minimum point score requirement for your unit group still applies. Now please note that at the time of recording this video, the RDAs have not started accepting the applications and are currently closed. We will make another video once we find out about the requirements and occupation list for the RDAs. Now they also have a Pathway 2, and under the Pathway 2, you need to be invited to apply during an invitation round. Now there are a few other things as well that you need to know before you lodge your expression of interest. New South Wales accepts employment that is deemed skilled by Home Affairs, that is, it is in your nominated or closely related occupation and a minimum 20 hours per week, and is after the date you are deemed skilled in your occupation. If you have been invited to apply for New South Wales nomination and you have claimed skilled employment before the date you are deemed skilled, unfortunately, you are not eligible to accept your invitation to apply for New South Wales nomination. You do not have to be currently working or have previously worked in New South Wales in your nominated or closely related occupation to be eligible for nomination. If you're currently residing onshore, you must be currently residing in New South Wales and have continuously done so for a minimum period of 6 months for the skilled nominated visa subclass 190 or 3 months for the skilled work regional visa subclass 491. New South Wales has recently released their occupation list, and most of the occupations on their list require 1 to 3 years of work experience and also very high points. There are occupations such as teachers, some health-related occupations, and some very uncommon trade occupations which do not require work experience or high points. New South Wales has advised that these numbers, by numbers I mean the number of years of minimum work experience and minimum score for each occupation. So these numbers are informed by the allocation of places in each unit group for the financial year and the EOIs in the skill select pool. This means that if you score below these numbers, you scored significantly below a ranking that might realistically be invited to apply this financial year. In another frequently asked question, they have mentioned that these requirements are subject to change without notice to allow us to effectively manage the program. Any changes, if made, are effective immediately and apply to all EOIs regardless of when they were submitted or amended in Skill Select. As such, we strongly discourage people from doing anything, especially migrating to New South Wales for the sole purpose of meeting New South Wales nomination criteria. If you have any questions or need any help with your nomination application with New South Wales, please book a consultation by clicking the link in the description below. Stay updated about Australia's immigration. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel.